for Wednesday, the 21st of February. I'm Stephen Ridgway. VMware is warning users to uninstall the EAP solution that was, well, it's a EAP, it's a plugin really, which has a critical severity flaw. The flaws being tracked as CVE 2024-22245 with a CVSS score of 9.6, so pretty serious. A malicious actor could trick a target domain user with EAP installed in their web browser into requesting and relaying service tickets for arbitrary Active Directory service principal names, SPNs. EAP has been deprecated since March 2021, so there should be no reason to still be using this. So if you happen to be using VMware and you are still using the EAP plugin, the time has come to get rid of it. There is a new wave of the Anatsa banking Trojan that is targeting Android users in Europe. The app has been downloaded more than 100,000 times from the Google Play Store since last November, so it is reasonably prolific. The app itself is a malware dropper disguised as, well, legitimate mobile apps in the Play Store, and the Trojan that gets downloaded subsequently is being tracked as Anatsa, A-N-A-T-S-A. So, given the fact it's a multi-stage piece of malware, so yeah, you need to watch out for. You just need to be cautious about what you download, even from official app stores. We've said it before here, and we'll say it again, I'm sure. So the sorts of things to look out for are free device cleaner apps, PDF viewers, or PDF readers, and so on. Some of these apps in this case have reached the top 3 in the top new free category, which of course one would expect to be legitimate apps. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case. So have a look. There's a good article in Dark Reading. I am presuming that Google has removed the offending apps from the Play Store. However, if you have been downloading free apps from the Play Store, it is always worth making sure that they are what they say they are and that they aren't doing other things in the background. Easier said than done, but yes. The onus, I guess, is on you as a user to be certain that you know what stuff you are installing on your phones. So ConnectWise has fixed a critical flaw in its Screen Connect remote access tool. So the tools that the versions that are vulnerable, let me just make sure I've got this right. Yeah, 2 critical vulnerabilities in its Screen Connect remote desktop product, CWE 288 authentication bypass using alternative path or channel with a CVSS score of 10, and CWE 222 improper limitation of path name to a restricted directory, so basically path traversal, CVSS score of 8.4. The issues are present in Screen Connect 23.9.7 and before. So the recommendations. If you're using the cloud solution, no actions needed. The cloud solution has been patched. If you're using the on-prem solution, upgrade your servers to version 23.9.8 immediately, they are saying. Oh, a lot of bugs around today. Joomla cross-site scripting bugs open millions of websites to remote code execution, according to a Dark Reading article that I came across this morning. So Joomla is an open source content management system, and it is vulnerable to cross-site scripting that could lead to remote code execution. One fundamental flaw is being tracked as CVE 2024-21726, and that's the core of where the issues are. So it's effectively inadequate content filtering that leads to cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. Joomla, the bug is being tracked as a moderate severity, and I don't think that there's been a CVSS vulnerability severity score associated with it yet. Now, bearing in mind that Joomla powers something in the region of 2% of all websites, although, all websites that have been surveyed, as it were, there are a lot of deployments out there which will make this a target. Now this information is in the public realm. Joomla will be targeted looking for this particular vulnerability. Given the fact that it's cross-site scripting, it is unlikely to be complex to execute. What you can do once you have got the ability to run remote code, I don't know. I'm not sure how well protected the rest of the environment would be. I guess it's worth having a look. If you are using Joomla in any of your websites, the patched versions of 5.0.3 or 4.4.3, both of which were released, either they were released today or they were released yesterday. Yeah, I think they were released yesterday. So given the speed at which attackers can find things to exploit on the internet, and given that this is a vulnerability in a web component, strongly recommend that you have a look at this and get it patched if you are using Joomla in your websites. Been a good day for articles on Dark Reading today, actually. So Wyze cameras are allowed accidental user spying, according to Dark Reading again. So 13,000 users received camera images and feeds that weren't theirs. The incident, so this is following on for only 5 months from a similar issue. And the last time round when this happened, the company was not particularly good at, or certainly not very transparent about what was going on. So Wyze has confirmed to users by email that it's experiencing a cybersecurity incident, and that connected cameras may give them visibility into other people's camera feeds. Oh dear. So it's pretty damning that an organization that provides CCTV is making this sort of level of I mean, this is just, it's ridiculous. You should never be in this position. It goes to show that things that are being run as sort of as a service type solutions are not always as good or as secure as you think. I doubt if many people realized that there was the possibility for camera feeds to be made available to the wrong customer, although I suppose if you join the dots, if your camera feed is going via somebody else's server, presumably so are lots of other people's. So there is the potential for messing this up. What they're saying is that there was an Amazon Web Services outage, after which the Wise servers became overloaded, resulting in the corruption of some user data, leading to this particular security issue. AWS, however, there were no known AWS outages at the time when the cameras were facing these issues. So a little bit uncertain as to what's going on, and we do know that Wise have not been wholly transparent in the past over these things. So, I mean, all I can say is if you're using Wise cameras, have a think about it. Are they really, is Wise really an organization that you can trust? It may well be, and it may well be that they'll step up significantly from where they are. But yeah, I would be pressing them to explain how they're going to ensure that this won't happen again. And then finally from me today, do you know, I love the way they name these things. This one is called Volt Schemer. So Volt, VOLT, SCHEMER. Schemer. Don't know. Basically, it's an attack that uses wireless chargers to do nasty things to mobile devices. And the two specifically nasty things that they're talking about in this article, this one's from Bleeping Computer this time, are to inject voice commands, okay, and fry the phones. So this comes from some academic research that's demonstrated that you can inject voice commands and manipulate a smartphone's voice assistant through magnetic field emitted by an off-the-shelf wireless charger. Terrible sentence to read out, but there we go. So basically, there is some description of exactly how this thing works. But the core of it is that there are transmit and receive coils. So a transmit coil in the wireless charger and a receive coil in the smartphone. Okay, which allow for power to be delivered to the phone, but also allows for data to be transferred in both directions. Or at least that's my understanding. So there is a wonderful diagram of what you would need to build in order to exploit this. But basically what it means is that through this, fundamentally what it means is that through this system, you can effectively by manipulating the coil plate, you can induce the phone to do things it wouldn't normally do, and you can also basically use the coils to overheat the phone. So and when we're saying overheat, we're talking about you can heat these things up, it says in here, to 200 and something degrees centigrade, or no, is that Fahrenheit? Wait a minute, let me get that right. Yeah, about 280 centigrade, 536 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a very precise number. It's interesting, isn't it? I don't think there is going to be a simple solution that can be retrofitted to prevent this. I also think we're not going to see mass exploits of this. So this is academic, but as always, once these methods are published, there will be some intense investigation into how far can this particular process be subverted, what other sorts of things can be subverted via it, and can any of this be weaponized. So yeah, very interesting. I would recommend you have a read of this, even if you don't use wireless charging pads. And again, make sure if you are buying these things, I mean, we're talking here about devices that come from they're just off the shelf products that come from well-known manufacturers. So we're not. This isn't sort of niche stuff that we're talking about here. So yeah, what can you do about it? Well, I doubt if there's very much you can do about it. You use quality equipment and keep your eye on. What is going on with your devices. So that's enough from me for today. Thank you all for listening, and I will be with you again tomorrow.